Hello and welcome back everyone to the BOTTA mod for the Battle for Middle-earth 2, the Rise of the Witch King expansion. And now we are going to go over the Dwarves of Erebor. But before we continue drivelling on as I always do, I'm going to say I'm actually going to do everything compared to the last two videos in reverse. So we're going to start with the heroes and then the powers, and I'll tell you why. We'll then go for the buildings afterwards. So then, with our first 5 heroes, I say first because there is one more hidden behind a little power we've already taken, but have yet to complete its requirements. So we start with Gimli. He's the first hero we can recruit at 1,000 resources. His ability, like with Feely, is when Feely and Gimli are close to each other, they gain additional armor and damage and experience, as both of their last abilities are enabled. Also, both of their abilities last abilities are enabled. Okay. Just a quick warning, they are not. Yep, that little tidbit at the very bottom does not work. But yeah. Then with Gimli, because he's an archer / swordsman, he can switch between sword and bow. As every faction just needs a bowman, don't they? And since Bard isn't here, we need someone else to fit the bill. Next, we've got quick shots. Gimli quickly fires an arrow which is very effective against single targets. Yeah, it's simply a wounding arrow that's meant to be slightly less effective than a ranger's arrow. Then he has keen eyes, reveals a small area of the map, so an even weaker version of Farsight. So basically, he's just a ragtag version of lots of different heroes combined together. The passive ability is similar to Rumen and Orifin, just not as well tuned in my opinion. The toggle weapon is like any other hero that can toggle a weapon. The quick shot is a weaker version of the wounding arrow. His keen eyes is a weaker version of Elrond's Farsight. But then finally, his final ability, Swift Fighter. Gimli gains 150% damage and 25% speed for 20 seconds, as was shown by that little aura in the past. So, all in all, not a bad starting scout hero. Not bad at all. He can reveal parts of the map, which Gildor could do when your players enlarge in the Edine mod, and as I've already mentioned in the Lothlorien video, vision, no matter who you are, especially as Lothlorien, it is vital. The smallest tidbit of information telling you where someone might be, what they're making, what they're planning to make, what's their main strategy, even in a simple PvE situation, is so important. Obviously, it's more important in PvP, but I don't go through PvP much. Then we come to Feely, who costs 200 resources more than his brother. He has the same Feely and Gimli passive ability, exactly the same. Gives increased armor and damage by 15%, additional 20% experience. Also, the last bit doesn't count. Next, we've got Axe Volley. Throw several axes at his enemies. This is similar to the Arrow Storm of Legolas, but a little bit less cool. Well, I mean, he actually throws axes, which is kind of cool, but yeah, 5 volleys of about 3 axes. So he's throwing 15 axes. That's 15 hits on some things at level 3. I say that's actually pretty effective, since the unit size, as you can see from here, have been quite nicely reduced to make that slightly more effective. Next, he's got Taunt at level 5. Taunt to the enemies are debuffed and lose 20% armor for 20 seconds. And that's a pretty sizable aura as well. That's the same aura as the Doubt of the original Map of Sauron. Or was it Descent? One of the two. Next, we've got an ability which requires the Arkenstone, the Erebor armor. Feely gains armor. And then finally, Swift Warrior, exactly the same as the Swift Fighter, but slightly different aura, and that's it. That is literally it. Other than that, they're exactly the same. And next we come to Balin. So Balin starts out with Lookout Dwarf. Balin gains additional speed and vision and can detect stealthed units. Allied units around Balin gain 25% speed and armor. That's a pretty effective power to start with. So you already have a way to find Gollum. You already have a way to spot out the elite Galathrim, or the elite Wardens of Lothlorien. And he's fast. A dwarf that's fast, but old and very, very white. Next, we've got the Guardian of Erebor. Balin gives huge amounts of experience to allied units. Give you an example of how much. So from level 2, it takes you all the way up to level 3 and 3 3 3 2/3. That's pretty good. That's about on par with most other experience giving abilities, but it's at level 2. So quick experience gain, very quick ability to give people banner carriers, which means they can regen their units, and with smaller units, again, that regen is very vital. Next is Wise Counsel. Barling gives the Wise Counsel to allied heroes, making him gain additional armor and gain experience faster. That means it's the character I'm giving it to gets a permanent bonus. As you can see by the nice old runes around them. However, I will note, this is not actually permanent anymore. It used to be, because, but I gave it to Dwarlen about 20-30 minutes ago, and now it is gone. And he didn't die in the it didn't die anywhere in between. The ability just doesn't last as long as you think it would. I mean, permanent and most battles last about 20 minutes. I'd say, yeah, having a bonus like this for 20-30 minutes is pretty powerful. Next, he's got Old Warrior. Gains 50% armor and double attack speed for 25 seconds. So he's a pretty strong duelist in his own right. People are trying to walk in and just dying. It's so fun watching the meek fall so easily. Anyway, back to Barlin. And then his final ability, Healing Word. Selected hero or units is healed. Hero's ability to recharge faster, and this lasts for a minute. So if I was to use Keely Swift Fighter now, you can see it ticks back a bit slowly, but one tick says like 100 ticks, and a tick a second, so that's 100 seconds. I use this on him, and that should tick up to now to be 75 instead of 100 seconds. I'd say that's pretty effective, especially with some later powers which we're going to go over, which makes the healing words slightly busted in some regard. Next we have Dwarlen. So Dwarlen, as you can guess, not only uses his giant war mace, hammer, whatever it is, he can also use his two famous axes, Grasper and Keeper. But when he's wielding his hammer, Dwarlen uses his mighty warhammer, slower attack speed, but has a small radius and knocks back units, and additional damage against structures. But when using Grasper and Keeper, he has a faster attack speed, but no AoE attacks, but deals more damage against monsters. So this is more single target. So you have warhammers, damage against structures and units. Grasper and Keeper is damage against single targets and monsters in particular. So his first ability, Grasper and Keeper. Dwarlen gains 50 health when he kills an enemy unit. Left click and then left click on enemy units. I think this is meant to be a passive, but I think while wielding Grasper and Keeper, you can use this, and it's like a small, like a spear throw, but melee. I don't know, like a cripple strike. Oh, whoa, no. Okay, quick note, do not have this ability, Grasper and Keeper, activated while you are switching forms of... Oh, wait, no. It fixed itself. That was very concerning. But yeah, another thing to note is, while using Grasper and Keeper, you can only use... you're not able to use Hammer Shock and Shake Foundation. But, to be honest, you only want to use them when using... Ah, I did it again. It'll fix itself, right? Oh, I've got to stop glitching Dwarlen out. So anyway, once he gets level 4 and he's using his Warhammer, Dwarlen hits his hammer with enormous force, dealing knockback damage. The only problem is, it doesn't actually do that anymore. It doesn't actually do that. For some reason, it just get it's like a fear effect. You actually have to target something first, which I don't really mind, but you know, seems a bit. I don't know. It's just a bit of trickery. It's lying. It's lied to me. Next, we've got Dwarven Persistence. Dwarven gains 500% armor for 45 seconds. And it's not this power doesn't take a long time to get back either, and then if you use the healing words of Barlin, which also comes back very quickly, and stacks with his own healing words, that could come back by the time it's almost finished. So you could almost have this permanent buff. No, actually, no, not a permanent buff, but a buff for a good amount of time, where you have 500% armor. So you got yourself a strong duelist with his old warrior ability with Barlin, but Dwarlen just takes it to a whole new level, becomes an absolute tank, and could probably single out a fortress when he hits level 10 and gets Shake Foundation. Disables target building for 20 seconds, automatically opens target to gate. Although I'm fairly certain no matter what gate that the Shake Foundation is going to hit, is going to destroy. And you may think, what, Shake Foundation, wasn't that originally Glowing's power at level 4? You would be correct. It is unfortunately been brought down to level 10, and doesn't do anything different. I mean, Shake Foundation was always a strong power, but I think putting it at level 10, not giving it a slight damage buff, might be overestimating it, in my opinion. Anyway, last hero, and the first form of Thorin Oakenshield. So, the first thing you can have is switch between your sword Orcrist and your axe, just a basic axe. The axe has a faster attack speed but doesn't have a radius like Orcrist does. That's the only difference. Orcrist has a slower attack speed but a small radius of damage. So your first passive is King in Exile. Dwarven units near Thorin gain 60% damage and 10% speed, and allied heroes and units gain resources for each kill. So he has Pillage or Scavenger at level 1. That's to say Edain put it at level 3. I'd say that's still pretty busted. Then he gets a level 3 Deserved Honor. Allied Battalion gains 500% experience faster permanently. But it can, but as you can see, I can't target more than one unit. That's why it says only allied unit. Allied Battalion, only one gets this buff. And then if we're to use this again, the Guardian of Erebor, so compare it to this unit that's still at level 2, and this unit's level. Oh, I guess it doesn't work with experience gained from other abilities. It only works when in combat experience. Oh, experience. Yep. So it has to be combat experience that you gain faster permanent. You get more experience faster. Then, while you're wielding Orcrist, Thorin deals 35% more damage to orcs and goblin heroes and units. So if you're fighting Gondor, if you're fighting like Gondor, you might find this to be a bit niche and pointless. But if you're fighting like Mordor, Isengard, the Misty Mountains, Angmar, you're going to find wielding Orcrist is going to be better than wielding the axe, even if you do gain more attack speed, because the AoE is going to do a lot of damage to all of those orcs, goblins, trolls, heroes, whatever. As it is, after all, Orcrist is known as the Goblin Cleaver, and goblins are all just orcs, just renamed because, you know, they look different. But when he's wielding his axe, he gets the power Oakenshield, where he gains additional armor. So your axe is more of a what's the word? A more defensive style weapon that is better in any situation. But Orcrist is better in the select situation. But then at level 6, while wielding Orcrist, you get the Goblin Cleaver, because that's his name in Sindarin. Thorin swings with his elven sword, dealing magic damage in a small radius, effective against monsters. So obviously you need to target something and then use it. Then we have Stubborn Fury. Thorin gains double damage for 20 seconds when wielding Thorin's axe. So he kind of has a single target damage build with this, but also he has a more static evil killing attack when it comes with Goblin Cleaver and Orcrist, while wielding Orcrist, the Goblin Cleaver. And then finally he has Dubekar. Dwarven units gain additional damage and knockback resistance and causes meta impact. I don't actually know what that means, the meta impact. I'm fairly certain it means when they're moving forward, they actually charge. And I'm not going to press it because in my experience of using this ability, it then follows up with loud music, very similar to that of Frodo with Aragorn, but much louder because it's from the Hobbit movie, and the Hobbit movie had to be louder. So we're not gonna go into this. But next we come to the powers. As I said, we are doing this all backwards. So you start off with Baruk Khazad, which is ally units gain resistance to knockback and additional damage for 30 seconds. So it's just a horn of the dwarves, but actually is very, very different. I like how they didn't just make all of the leadership buffs for each faction exactly the same. They made Baruk Khazad a focus on the fact you'd have no cavalry, so you have a resistance to knockback. And then you gain additional damage because it is a war cry because it means axes of the dwarves. Then you got the Dwarven Stonework, fully healed structures, not just like the rebuild of Gondor, which would do just a bit, would heal most of your building, would do like a set amount like 5,000 HP. But the Dwarven Masterwork, if a building's about to be lost at 1 health, but has like 20,000 health, it'll heal it all the way up instead of healing at 5,000. So that is a big thing to mention. Then you also have Dwarven Remedy. Partially heals wounded units and replaces 1 dead man per battalion. It does heal more than you think though. Trust me, it does. Next we've got Summon the Men of Dale. This summons the Men of Dale, as it very gently says, exactly the same as before, except for a twist. I've actually tested in the campaign, because I'm seeing if I can actually play through the entire campaign. So far it's going well, I've managed to get to Erebor. But the Men of Dale have now 4 units, have the ability Black Arrow, which I don't believe they originally did in their summon, and you also get Bard the Bowman, which also has a Black Arrow, and has a leadership buff for his Men of Dale. Let's actually show it off now, see if I'm correct on this. I am. See, if you get 4 units of Men of Dale, they all get the Black Arrow ability, which causes fear to target enemy, adds triple damage. And then you get Bard, which can switch between sword and bow for some reason. Don't know why you need to. And then you get the Leader of Dale. Dale units near Bard gain additional experience, damage, and range. And then Bard the Bowman. Bard gains damage and range. So as long as Bard's alive, your the other Bowman of Dale will get a buff of a decent buff. And then finally he gets his Black Arrow, single range attack that deals severe damage against dragons. And since there's only one faction now in the game that makes dragons, I'd say this is tailored specifically to defeat the Misty Mountains. I'm not gonna lie, it's tailored specifically to defeat the Misty Mountains. Anyway, back to this. So let me get the endurance vote. Dwarven hero gain additional health and experience and unlocks the Arkenstone upgrade in the fortress. So we've already talked about what happens with about Thorin. But we're now going to get the Arkenstone because some things happen to Thorin and, well, obviously Feely gets his armor, but Thorin gets a few small changes, and I think that also changes up his playstyle. Also, we're going to get this while I'm waiting. And you also are allowed to then get the Dwarves of the Iron Hills, which allows you to get your final hero, Dane Ironfoot. Yep, Dane's still in the game, he's not gone, he's not dead. He's still very much alive, and he is kicking some... Oh, pardon me. He's kicking some right good ass. While we're waiting, let's go over the rest. You've got your Lone Tower. Just looks different. Other than that, exactly the same. Can hold 2 units instead of 1, unlike the Lone Tower of Gondor and the Lone Tower that Haldir can make for Lothlorien. Then you've got Dwarven Riches. A selected economy building produces 300% more resources for 3 minutes. No different than what it normally is. Then you get the Earth Hammer. Construct an Earth Hammer anywhere on the map. And then while it's anywhere on the map, you can create a mini earthquake. But unlike the actual earthquake, it doesn't do nearly as much damage. Unfortunately, I can't show it off. But yeah, you see that I only got that much.
The heart of the mountain.
You did not have permission to talk Erebor Gold Mine. I know it's you. Oh no, it's not. We just got the Arkenstone, so Bilbo just started talking. So we're gonna get Dane Ironfoot out now, so we don't miss talking about him. And now, obviously I glazed over him for the fact that once you get the Arkenstone, Thorin changes.
So this quest is ours.
Does he?
And ours alone.
Yes, he does. Okay. All you need to do is change his form once, and then he will gain his Royal Regalia. He can no longer go into his axe form. He remains now as the King of Erebor. Dwarven units in medium range gain damage and armor and become resistant to fear. Now, Desired Honor, allied units gain... well, basically, it's half the buff they used to get, but now it can target up to... how many units? I see 4. Yep, only 4 units at once can be selected to gain this permanent buff. Which is pretty good. Then Erebor King Armor. Thorin gains additional 50% armor, same as the Erebor armor of Feely. Also, it doesn't mention... oh, no.
Where's the meat? I wouldn't bother that.
Barling gets what looks like a nice armor change. Dwarling gets... why? Why must it do this to me? Dwarling, while wielding his Warhammer, gets a change. He's no longer wielding a Warhammer, he's wielding his giant axe that he had in the Battle of the Five Armies. Keely also gets... oh, Keely gets some changes too. He's no longer a scout. It's now feeding Keely, gaining faster auto healer, and their special ability to recharge faster for 2 minutes. And he also gets Erebor armor. So he's no longer the scout he used to be. Okay, that's... oh, okay. Okay. Vid is exactly the same though. Barnon's exactly the same, and so is Dwan, except for he's got a slightly different looking weapon. Anyway, back to foreign. Goblin Cleaver does exactly the same thing, but again, you are now stuck with Orcrist, and if you can't remember the ability, it is a... Oh no, it's this version of Dubekar, which is stupidly loud. The first version of Dubekar is just him yelling Dubekar, but in this version, it's stupidly loud. I'm not gonna play, but Dwarven units gain invulnerability and knockback resistance for 20 seconds. I don't know why you need knockback resistance when you're invulnerable, but okay, why not? And then you've also got King's Fury, foreign gains additional damage and faster auto attack, faster attack speed for 20 seconds. In fact, it's exactly the same as what Barlin gets. Oh, it's exactly. Oh no, it's instead of gaining additional armor, it's additional damage and a faster attack speed. Okay, still neat. But anyway, yeah, if I was to demolish this Earth Hammer, with the Earth Hammer ability, I could remake it. And I'm just quickly glancing over things over and over and over again, but well, don't worry, dear, we'll get to you soon. We'll get to you soon. But yeah, the Earth Hammer can be destroyed and remade once you have the power back. But do be warned, it does take quite a while. And you will normally get this power back once you have this. So you could use 2 Undershakes, make another Earth Hammer, and then Undershake again. It's a nice, cool concept in my opinion. Then we've got the Light of Durin's Day, Cloud Break, but Dwarven units on the map also gain speed and double vision. And instead of actually acting as a Cloud Break stun, it only cancels other weather spells. And then you've got the Undermine. And then we've got Summon Citadel, which is exactly the same as it always has been. But then you also get to summon Durin the Deathless. Summon the spirit of Durin, the father of dwarves, and 3 battalions of Khazad Guard. Lasts for 2.5 minutes. Before it used to be only Durin, but I guess they've changed it around a bit to make him a bit more powerful. Which I quite like. I quite like indeed. Don't worry, we'll talk about this statue soon enough. You guys go over to here so you can get your nice arm. We're going to go over and attack the enemy soon. So then, the last hero, King Dane, or not before he became King Dane, Dane Ironfoot. Well, as you can see, he's wielding his massive red axe, and this isn't a switch between weapons like it was for foreign. This is a powerful single attack, and it's powerful. It is really powerful. Then he's got Lord of the Iron Hills at level 1. Iron Hills dwarves near Dane get additional armor and speed, but at level 5 they get total fear resistance. At level 4 is Mighty Rage, which is what he used to have in the past. Targeted friendly units gain additional damage, and this lasts for 20 seconds. It doesn't state this, but you do also get a heal added onto this as well. It doesn't mention it, but that is another thing I've tested in the campaign, and it is also a heal. Then we've got the Battle Veteran. Dane grants experience to Dwarven units. Now, you'd think this would be exactly the same as what Barlin has. No, 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 no. This is so many levels above. A unit that starts at level 1 could go to level 4 with this ability. I've tested it. It's stupid. It's so stupid, but so hilarious to watch at the same time. And then he's got Axe Master at level 7. Dane gains additional speed and damage and knockback units when moving. Lasts for 25 seconds. And then finally he gets to make some Iron Hill veterans. Summon several battalions of Iron Hill spearmen. So you can see, these Iron Hill units are only Iron Hill swordsmen, Iron Hill warriors. So this is how you get your the spearmen that were showed off in the Hobbit movie. But other than that, that's all the heroes, that's all the powers. We're now going to go back to everything as if it was normal again. Oh, I missed a unit, damn it. Let's let that move back. So then, so now, leading off to the buildings. The mine shafts, as you can see, have got a very nice change in design. Have a slightly more darker tone in the stone around them. And when it reaches level 3, you also get like gold veins flowing from it. It looks majestic, it looks beautiful, and I love what they've done with the Dwarven design so much. And as you could always have it done with the mine shaft, you can place 5 units within, and then you can take them out into another mine shaft from anywhere on the map. Now that is an army right there. Then I'm waiting to level up. Go level up for me. Because normally I'll do all my leveling up and so on and so forth before I start recording. Next we get to build the Hall of Warriors, which also has a nice darker tone to it. But also when it reaches level 3, it gets this beautiful gold design. Ignore this. This is just the dwarf. This is just the AI Erebor playing stupid. It thinks it does stuff, but it doesn't when it's thrown away like this. So you have the Hall of Warriors. As I said, beautiful with the extra golden designs. I must admit, they turned the original designs of the dwarves units or buildings and gave them so much more depth. I actually miss these buildings playing all the other mods, but god damn, they bring them back with a vengeance. With a vengeance. So as you can see, you can make three different units from tier 1, but tier 3 you can get the Erebor Guardians, which are the ones we've been standing over for quite a while. So you can make the Erebor Warriors, your standard infantry, the Erebor Phalanxes, which we all know and love, and then the Erebor Axe Throwers. Yep, there's no longer an archery range, you only have the Hall of Warriors, so you can get your Axe Throwers, your Warriors, and your Phalanxes all in one place. And here they are. The Phalanx, once they've been fully upgraded, you can get bandit carries, forge blades, and heavy armor, as you can guess. And then you also get the Phalanx formation. Instead of the porcupine formation that was terribly underused in BFME 2, instead they now have a more worthwhile design, where they can still move in this formation, which halves their speed, but gives them a little bit more damage, and gives them additional armor against cavalry, and any cavalry and most units that will charge into this will most likely die. That is a fact, because again, tested this against Mumakil, and they did about half their health just walking into 10 different units. Half the time they just actually attack. Dane, why are you not killing people? I gave you specific orders to kill people. So next we have the Erebor Warriors. Again, they can have exactly the same upgrades. The bandit carriers, the forged blades, dwarven armor, and their formation is the type formation. They lose some speed and damage. They go a bit more into a block formation, and they gain a bit of armor, which is not bad. They lose that. They lose out on their key features, but obviously the best thing about the dwarves is they are the sturdiest, hardiest, most stubborn folk in the world, and they will not. They do not take liberties for anything. Next we have the Dwarven Axe Throwers. Again, same upgrades. Again, because they're Axe Throwers and not Archers, they do get the Forged Blades, unlike the Dwarven Archers of Eredluin in the Edain mod and the Archers of Age of the Ring. They have also got a block formation, which gives them additional armor, reduces their speed and range though. So if you're in a tight spot, you just need a unit that can fight back at range, but also could get charged. Use the block formation, you will find it is a godsend. And then finally we have the Guardians, or that's what they're called. They're just the Erebor Guardians. But yet they've got the wedge formation, which gives them massive amounts of armor, halves their speed, similar to that of a Phalanx, but makes them immune to trample. You thought these guys were good with their immunity, their near immunity to trample. These guys become immune to the trample, and they can charge. They have the original Guardian charge attack, and even better, unlike the other units, they don't get forged blades or heavy armor. They get bandit carries, and they are the one unit that can get your siege hammers, which I do like quite a bit. It's good they managed to put the siege hammers into use in some description, because in the BFME 2 patch, they had to, well, in the original BFME 2 vanilla patch, they made it so your Dwarven Guardians had to choose between siege hammers or forged blades, and most people just said, well, in a tight spot we just need forged blades. The only time we need siege hammers is when we're attacking buildings, right? Well, siege hammers was never really used. Never really had a spot in the world. But in this mod, they've actually brought it back and used it so it's on their elite units, the units that are meant to focus down the buildings of your opponents. Oh, okay. Next building is your first unique building, the Erebor Mine. And this is the one and only building which can go up to level 5. Level 5! And you can either level it up manually using it used to have it there. In fact, I might just demolish this version. Oh, I can't. Once you've built it, you can't demolish it. You have to wait for your opponent to destroy it. Oh well. But yeah, at level 1, you can pay 500 resources to have it level up to level 2. Then another 750 to level 3. Level 4 is 1,000, and then level 5 is 1,250. When you hit level 3 though, you can get the Precious Gems skill, which allows all mineshafts to produce additional 15% resources. So similar to the Elven Gardens and the Marketplace of Gondor and Lothlorien. Come on, Dane. Show him who's boss. In fact, let me heal you so you don't die in between. Because if you do die, you do not come back. Dane does not come back with his same level. He does only come back. In fact, no. I think if he dies, you can remake him from the fortress. I might be wrong on that though. Do not take my word on that. Where was I? Gold mine, yes. And once you hit level 5, you can use the Wealth of the Lonely Mountain, which summons several gold piles, as you can see right here. And if I was to collect them with my battle wagon, very quickly. Come on, you gimpy battle wagon. I must admit, the battle wagon goats aren't the best looking things in the world, but nah, you can judge. So you can get a total of 500 up to 700 resources just by using this ability, but it has a long cooldown. It is ridiculous how long it takes to get this back. But yeah, that's 200, that's 300, 400. That was nearly 800. That was over 800 resources just for investing a lot of points into this. And this also gives you resources too. It gives you 100%. It gives you 44 resources at level 5, and compared to the other mine shafts, which have the extra bonus at level 3, give only 36. Granted, you can make 10 of them, but hey, who's one to judge? This is a very powerful building. It's actually got a smaller radius for its economy than the other Dwarven mine shafts, as you can see. Well, as you can see here, slightly smaller aura compared to the others. So yeah, very good building. I recommend if you're playing with a lot of resources to begin with, start by building this gold mine. It's your ticket to heaven, or to it's your ticket to Dwarven heaven, or to dragon sickness. Next we have the Erebor Furnace, your second unique building. The Erebor Furnace is actually a bit of a unique one. You'd think it'd serve as your blacksmith of sorts. Well, it kind of does. What the blacksmith does is enables you to get the dwarven machinery and weapon fashioning upgrades, and basically that allows you to make the forge. So with the weapons fashioning power ability or upgrade, you're allowed to purchase the forged blades and heavy armor from from your forgers. If you do not have this upgrade, you cannot get forged blades or heavy armor. And then if you get the dwarven machinery, then you can now make Iron Hills catapults and demolishers, and you can also get the siege hammers upgrades. Come on, Dane. I think it's time to walk back a bit. And I'm going to get this heal because I do not want to lose that tower. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. There's dwarven runes flying all over the place. Where was I? Oh, yes. So, other than doing this, it's still worth keeping around. It's not worth destroying it immediately, because it does give you additional 100 command points. And what can I say? Command points are important. Command points are very, very important. Because again, you're not limited in your command points until you get obviously to 1,000, but it is a lot harder to get to that 1,000 in the first place. So having this extra 100 just there, and this building only costs 960. But I will add, your dwarven mine shafts do actually give you a reduction in building costs. Because if you haven't noticed, your Hall of Warriors will cost 600. The gold mine costs more. The mine shafts don't actually get a reduction in cost, but they still cost 300, and they give you your reduction in buildings costs. So yeah, all your buildings are hella expensive, but the whole point is you can get that cost reduction, unlike other factions. Anyway, now we've got Dane to level 10. Let's show off the Iron Hill veterans he can summon. To the king! Now these are not permanent, are they? Nope, they are not. So let's quickly glance over them. So they can make the Iron Wall formation, which I still love that they named it like the Iron Wall instead of just like the Porcupine or whatever. So they lose a bit of speed to gain armor and bonus damage against cavalry. So this is the original Porcupine formation of BFME 1. A lot of damage against cavalry, but can crush anything under its weight, because that's a lot of armor they get.
I hope you've got a plan.
Next on our list, after talking about the furnace, is the forge works. So your forge works, as I already mentioned, you can only make your later tier building siege weapons if you have got dwarven machinery from the furnace. So then you can get the Iron Hills catapults. Well, I start with the battle wagons. You can get up to 3 of these, and these are your classes, your support units. And unlike in the past, they can now only be upgraded with 2 different upgrades, either the banner carriers or the half. So the half acts as your mobile well, but a mobile well that can very easily be destroyed if you don't take care of it and allow it to get attacked by anything. If anything with a pike or spear hits this, it's probably going to get destroyed very quickly. But the banner carrier allows allies to get experience faster, slowly heals the battle wagon when not in combat, and adds some phalanxes to the battle wagon, which just means it gets a few more basic attacks in when it's in combat. Then there's the Iron Hills catapults, which fires 2 shots, but it can no longer throw oil casks, and it can no longer get firestones. So the iron catapults that used to be overpowered in other mods have been greatly weakened to show that they've actually weakened most, if not all, siege equipment to some degree. And then finally you can get the Demolisher. You can get up to only 2 of these. But like all demolishers, they can deploy. They used to be able to give them mithril mail, but yeah, that was never really a smart thing to do. Well, it wasn't that it wasn't smart. It was just hilariously overpowered to some degree.
Where do I go with these?
So yeah, other than that, Forge doesn't do anything else. It makes you your siege equipment.
We have the best material.
That's it. Before it used to also be your forge, but now we get to go over the forge, the dwarven blacksmith.
Building.
Oh, and I just realised you can make infinite amount of these apparently. Am I wrong or am I right?
Here we go.
It seems I'm right. I can make an infinite amount of these. But once you get the one upgrade, you don't need to make them ever again. So you can get banner carriers at level 1, level 2 is forge blades and dwarven armour, and tier 3 you can get the siege hammers. Because secretly, the siege hammers are now been made, I'd say, at least 20% stronger than what they used to be. And putting them on your best units just makes them even more calamitous. And oh my goodness, are they terrifying to deal with. Anyway, let's actually show off Dane's battle veteran. So a larger radius, and yeah, it gives more experience in the earlier tiers, but once you hit the late tiers, it kind of just falls off. So the units that were level 2 are now level 5, but the unit that was level 6 remains level 6. So his power is to make the rookies into veterans, but not to make the veterans more than veterans. That's for them to do alone. It's going to slowly give them all. And maybe it just has to be a normal. Never mind. Anyway, I'm falling away from the main subjects. Just talked about the forge works. So that's now the blacksmiths that go to the battle towers. We all know what they do. And I also learnt if I was to demolish this bit here, I may have already talked about it in the Lothlorien video, but I'm going to show it again anyway. You can build your towers within the holes of the walls, and that it does actually work. It actually works. You can actually build these towers as if they were the original battle tower that you can make from the walls. So something you've now been limited to only 10 of these battle towers across all of your walls, and your walls are again limited because of where they can be made from the outposts. So next you've got the half, can be built anywhere, heals units, not really very self-explanatory. Heroic statue, more damage, more armor, more experience, gives you more command points, and does not stack. That's a nice thing to add. This ability does not stack on the top of itself. It should mention this on the other heroic statues. It might. I may have just missed it, but yeah, it's good. It's good to know it. It's good to know these abilities do not stack to stupidly hilarious proportions. Then we've got the war hubs, same as every other faction we've shown so far. You can build them, you can extend them, as long as they are within the auras of your outpost or fortress. And I don't want to be jinxing this, I really don't, but I'm fairly certain you can still build walls around your summon citadel. I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to test it now, but I will be able to test it later on, most likely in a random tangent video. Maybe if I go to random roundhouses, I'll be able to show it off. Maybe not. That's fine. We'll find that in the future. Where was I? Wall hubs, outposts, fortress. To the fortress. So, you may be wondering, what the hell is this giant golden thing right in front of me? Well, we'll get to that at the very end. So banners, unlike the elven banners, give 2 times the amount of experience, so 200% experience bonus, reduction in heroes and in builders. The banners of Lauren, I think, do still get the reduction in builders, but it's not stated they do. Then we get the Ravens of Erebor, exactly the same as like the Creebine of any other vision power, but it also reveals stealth units unlike the lanterns. This gives slightly less radius, but it does actually reveal stealth units. Then we've got the Siege Kegs, which is a healing effect around the fortress, like the Houses of Healing, but it's also increasing the hit points of the fortress. This fortress, at full power, now has 16,000 hit points. That's stupid levels of stupid. Then you've got Masterwork Munitions, exactly the same as every other, like fire arrows, munitions, whatever. Gives all your catapults, flaming shots, which is the only flaming shots you'll ever see in the Agile faction anymore. It gives your axe towers upgrades, and these towers now have a cost reduction in. So before it cost like 500, now it only costs 350. So you get a nice cost reduction with it as well. And I think I mentioned this in the Lothlorien video. You do actually. I was actually wrong. It does actually cost 500 for this upgrade to begin with, and that cost reduction is a massive help. If you haven't already got the upgrades by the time you're going for it, but nah, depends on your preference. I still prefer to just go for the upgrades one-on-one. No point in going for this big thing first, just to decrease the cost of everything else. It's not really saving you much. If anything, it costs more. But that's enough of that. Oil casks, unlike the boiling oil of Gondor, this actually damages your buildings. This leaves a fire around your buildings, unlike the oil, because the oil just burns your opponents. It doesn't actually leave fire in its wake. So use it only in dire need. Do not use it when your force is about like 1% health left and you're about to lose it, or when it's still at full health and it's not really surrounded when your opponent is still slowly walking in towards you. Use it at the best opportunity and you will always be guaranteed best results. Now, Dwarven Stonework. For the last few, like the Numenorian Stonework, which cost 2,000, the Golden Leaves, which was 2,000. This Dwarven Stonework costs 3,400. Yeah, just think of that through. Another thing to mention, Thorin, compared to the characters like Gandalf and Galadriel, he only costs 4,000. He costs less than 4,000. He costs less than 4,000 when you have the banners. Just let that sink in. A strong, powerful hero at very early tier. Not OP like the Galadriel or Gandalf, but still very powerful in their own right. So give them credit where credit is due. Yeah, the Dwarven Stonework makes all of your walls and your fortress very tanky, and it also gives them this nice little golden glow to them as well. And then finally, once you have the Dwarven Stonework, you can craft the golden statue. And this statue does something very fun for you. It gives you the gold lust power, so it requires the gold statue. Causes units around the fortress to become hostile towards each other. Now, I'm unsure if this actually works, but it does have a cool ass effect. Unfortunately, these gold powers cannot be collected, and you may remember this effect actually happening about 20 minutes ago, because the dwarves used it. But the way they used it is cheating in a fashion, and does not actually do anything. It's just all visual. It's annoying as hell when you have to look at it, and it blinds your eyes a bit. But you have to learn to live through the pain. Live through the pain. So that's all the buildings. We've already gone through all the units, gone through all the heroes. I know we haven't gone through all units. We've got the Iron Hill units we got from King Dane. And these get a block formation which just gives them additional armor for a cost and speed. Nothing different. That's it. That is everything the dwarves have to offer. So let's go now and beat the hell out of some other dwarves, shall we?
We're supposed to be looking out for things.
Now, all we want to do is have the demolishers a different unit, have the catapults a different unit, and let the battle wagon go in and die. I don't care about the battle wagon. I don't care about no battle wagon. And I want to get during the Deathless because this is the other power that is brand new. Again, if we could somehow manage to show off the Citadel, I'd be more than happy to show it off. But I don't think there's going to be enough. I don't think I'm going to get enough power points. Yeah, the fact I did I got 0 power points from that one Earth Hammer is a bit concerning. But if I use it here, oh no, I guess there's no. I guess it just did damage to units. Okay, so the Earth Hammer does damage to units as well as buildings, but it does say causes earthquake if medium range, causing good damage against buildings. It doesn't state it does damage against units, but it does. And yet, this is what I was talking about with the Gold Lust. The AI just uses an AI dwarves just uses it at the most random times, and it has so little effect. It does nothing, but it's so hilarious to watch it happen anyway. I mean, I'm just pushing for the end now because I want to show off the true power of the dwarves. Yeah, the battle wagons have been made. They take less damage from non-spear / pike wielding units. Unless they're... Oh wait, no, I was wrong. They still take pretty good damage from any kind of unit. There's not so much damage when they're charging and more damage from just basic attacks. Oh, and yeah, the ram kind of goes glitch and everything. So yeah, the Dwarves of Erebor have a few minor glitches in their programming and a few of their the smaller idiosyncrasies they have. It's not that noticeable. To the king! Loud noise to the king. Hope that little bit of music over over Dane's voice isn't copyrighted. I doubt it will be, especially if I'm speaking over it as well. Let's try using this. Yes, okay, so foreign power isn't limited to any number of units. It can be any number of units. Again, trying to not play Dubakar, because again, it is loud as hell. It's louder than for Frodo, and I refuse to play that. It's louder than the quotes that Galadriel used last time, and that was loud. Keep our battle wagons close. We need those to destroy their buildings. Because as I've already mentioned, dwarven buildings are very, very tough. They're very hard to destroy. And worst of all, if left alone, could beat anyone and anything. And in fact, I'm going to take out these axe throwers from here because they are no longer needed here. They can... Oh yeah, I've just had axe throwers inside all these towers this entire time. That's how I'm able to do this. I just build up a defense and then I never move. I never move a muscle until the very end when I start recording, and it is hilarious that we actually get this far. I don't think the battle wagons do actual charge damage anymore, but we will find out. No, they do. Battle wagons are the same as they used to be. They can charge through units and deal pretty good damage. I would definitely put pretty good damage. Time to pull during the Deathless. Look how he rises as well. He rises from the... He just rises. Oh, I love this Durin. I love him so much. I miss the Edine Durin. I think that's just the main thing. I just miss the original Edine Durin. So these Khazad Guard, they have Khazad masks and veteran. Obviously these abilities don't do anything. They can't reach level 2, but nah. So yeah, Durin. Line of Durin. Dwarven heroes in medium range near Durin gain increased armor and damage, 100% experience, and 25% faster attack speed. Dwarven units in a large range get increased armor and damage, experience, and faster attack speed. His first ability is Gift of the Deathless. Oh, they summoned the White Council! What did they get? I forgot to mention the Ring Heroes. They get Galadriel, Gandalf, a lot of other things. I'm going to quickly use Gift of the Deathless. Target units gain health until death. About to lose Dane. What's the last do? Create a small earthquake on the battlefield. Oh, he's dead. No, I didn't get to show off everything that Dane has. Durin has. Bastards. But yeah, it seems the AI decided, you know what, we're going to get... Someone's going to summon the White Council because they got the ring before I did. yeah, their White Council is Radagast, Saruman, Gandalf, Galadriel, and who else? There's someone else. I know there is. The Barlings just died. Powers. Why are you so loud? What the hell? What is this? These are not mine. These are my opponents, but their Dane isn't level 10, is there? Okay, Dane's killing Dane. Feely's died. Gotta use it. Gotta use it. Gotta use it. I think the AI has just managed to pull a middle finger up at me. I'm not joking. I think they actually managed to best me for once. See how long that lasts. I can't destroy their fortress. I mean, if I was to use Duvekar, I would have won instantly. Because all my characters would be invulnerable. I refuse to resort to loud noises. I refuse. And yeah, we can't. Oh yeah, we cannot recreate Dane from here. We have to remake him from the power, and he does not come back as level 10. No, he does not. He does not come back as level 10. So let that be a warning. Protect your Dane Ironfoot with your life. He will not come back at a strong level. How long do they have left in their White Council? Quite a while. Quite a while. Dwarven, take the foundations. Dwarven gains stupid amounts of armor. Well, I might get show off Durin again after all. What? Whoa, 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 whoa! What? Durin comes back fast. Holy crap! Yeah, Shaking Foundation does very little damage, as you can see here. But this is almost a fully fledged fortress like mine is. So it's almost as good as mine. It's almost as good. Also, Dwarven's the only dwarf left alive in my army. Because he is a boss. It looks like... Oh yeah, Saruman's AoE attack. Also does knockback. This is the this is the good version of Saruman. He's using good factions. I'm slowly going to rebuild my army now. Rebuild my 2 demolishers. Start spending money. Yeah, let's go slowly build up an army again, because why not? Okay, let's try and see if I can get him to escape. It has to be on a building, god damn it. Okay, so this ability has to be, this hammer shot ability has to be used on a building, and it makes every unit around him flee in fear. Which now means I can get him to, means I can get Dwarven to escape. Oh, okay. Note to self, do not fight the dwarves in the future. They are just as loud as the goblins with Dane. Okay. Okay. Wow, 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 wow. Dane comes back as quickly as the Men of Dale. That's hilarious. So what's his other ability? Spirit of the Elders. Unit around Durin gets slightly healed. That's the aura around him right now. And his final ability, Ancient Tremor, causes a small earthquake which knocks back enemy units. So this is the... Okay, it's a slightly better Shatterhammer. That's not stupidly overpowered. That's good to know. Let's have these guys slowly charge forward. Wait, I don't even have that signal fire anymore. How are my powers coming back so quickly? Are Dwarven powers just this good? Are Dwarven powers really just this good? They could just be brought back this easily. If so, I'm impressed and disappointed. That is so easy. Marlin, heal your brother.
We will see it done.
That's what we need to hear. There's some nice healing words. I've almost lost count. Oh, what, they summoned Durin themselves. Ah! Oh, that's their dwarves.
Hit him so hard, their friends feel it.
If all like tweaks. Now I can show off the citadel. Should not have built it this far back, but nah. Oh well. Now, is this the version that gets the mighty catapult, or is this the version that just has a basic catapult? Basic catapult, okay. And you cannot build walls, okay. But does it give you an aura? Does it act as an aura? It acts as an aura! Oh, I'm going to abuse the hell out of this. Everyone, charge forward. Battle wagons, go somewhere. Yeah, battle wagons, go. No, battle wagons, demolishers. Demolisher crew, go somewhere else.
Is Dean with us?
Where's the enemy base?
Mr. Baggins, you don't know.
After all,
Need to build those walls around our citadel. Oh, I'm loving this. Now, if I was going to be smart, I would have done two things. One, well, firstly, I would have built the citadel slightly closer so it could actually bombard the enemy base. Two, I would actually have gotten this a lot sooner. Actually built this up like an outpost. Oh, okay. So the point of so I now understand the purpose of the Dwarven Citadel in its place compared to an outpost. The Citadel it can store 3 times the amount of units, can get 3 different upgrades, and starts with a catapult. So you can have 4 catapults defending this citadel, which acts exactly like an outpost, but has, I think, slightly larger range, a slightly larger aura. I'd say it has the same size aura as a basic city, as your fortress does. Okay, let's use the tremor of Aura Hammer again, and demolish it, and make a new one, and put it in the fortress. Oh, I'm gonna have some fun with this. Oh, we need to destroy that fortress before they can make. We need our demolishers to destroy that fortress before they have a chance. Before they have a chance to summon the White Council again. Is there any things worth getting? Lone Tower, I guess. Let's start using powers now. Feely's dead again, who cares? Check their foundation, do not let them get the White Council out again. Anything else? And while you two over here is beyond me. Probably killing a hero or something. Yeah, we're actually pushing in. This is good. And yeah, if I wanted to invest more time into this, if I knew about this in the first place, I would have gone for this power first. Built this outpost. That's a unfortunate necessary design change. Could have looked all nice and pretty, but no, they had to make me do this. But yep, we could just build an entire wall around the citadel, like you used to be able to. Well, not like you used to be able to, but like you could always do. And we destroyed the citadel. Let's just destroy their last buildings. Let's not waste any more time here. I'm so done. And I hope you all enjoyed this. The first time we actually got bested by another opposing faction in our final charge. But again, that's because, like in any game, the dwarves are not my forte. They're a stubborn, standing still faction that does not work well. Where and how I play. I play strategic and very, very mobile. Like the elves. That's why I'm so good at the elves. And why I'm not very good at these guys whatsoever. But anyway, that is it for the dwarves. There's only 4 factions left to show off. And why are they still not dead yet? Because they've got this Hall of Warriors building. Let's destroy that before they have the chance to make another. Bring it down, bring it down. The demolish is not even good, but bring it down. Oh, it's over. Oh. I'm telling you, Hardy Eyes are actually good. They're actually a challenge now. Well, no, that's worded wrong. Hardy Eyes aren't so difficult. Well, I'm going to soon have to test against Brutal AIs, but Hardy Eyes are now actually playing more against my own playstyle of defense, which I love so much. But yep, hope you all enjoyed. I know I've already said it, but I'm going to say it again. And don't forget to leave a like if you did. Don't forget to subscribe as well to keep up to date with new content, and don't forget to comment if you have. Also comment if you have any questions or queries you wish to ask me, or if you have any tips and tricks you can you have shown or revealed in other mods, or you just have anything you want to ask me. Just go ahead and say. So the next faction will be Mordor, the one faction that doesn't actually have walls. And I'm gonna make sure I get Sauron. But until next time, ta-ta for now.